So, Field,
Yes.
on my way here today, man, as I'm driving down the parkway, some guy just cuts me off, almost kills me on the side of the road, and just goes down there. But don't worry, because I got his license plate number, and I'm gonna find him. I'm gonna track him down. I'm gonna spend my entire day doing worse to him than he did to me, because I'm a psychopath, and no one cuts off Mike Butler. No one.
That was you? Sounds like we had a problem changing lanes. The movie title.
Ladies and gentlemen, please notice that exits are conveniently located at the front and rear of this auditorium. When leaving the theater, we suggest that the exit at the front of the auditorium will allow you easier access to the parking areas. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mike Butler.
And I am Mike Field.
And this is Forgotten Cinema, a show where we talk about films that seem to be forgotten by audiences, whether it be because a more popular film was released at the same time or the movie simply didn't catch on with an audience member in its initial run. That's right, just one audience member. We'll discuss what we love about the movie or maybe don't love about it, but we'll always recommend you revisit it. You never know, you might find your own forgotten gem. If you love Forgotten Cinema, we want to hear from you.
There's a period in that.
We are on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, TikTok. We are everywhere with a backlog of, according to this guy, almost 350 episodes.
We do have a lot.
Just for you. So yeah, check us out. Like, rate, subscribe.
Awesome. Great job, Mike. Way to stumble through. So what's going on?
Nothing much. Like I said, I'm headed to court.
Yep.
I've got where am I going?
I was just waiting to see where you're going. Who are you going to be?
I'm going to court because I got to get my kids back.
Oh, you got to
get my kids back.
You chicken.
Fine. I'm going to court because I suckered some old man out of.
I knew you picked Ben Affleck, you racist.
Well, he's got more of a story. Because I suckered some old man out of a donation fund, and you know what? It felt good because I'm riding the wave of being on top. I got my mistress at work. I got my stuck-up
ex-mistress,
hoity-toity white wife at home who's really evil.
Why she got to be a white wife?
Oh, because she is like the epitome of
you were just
rich
down the
people.
hole here.
And my bosses, they're gonna forge more documents because my document got lost because I hit some dude on my way to court who was also going to court to get his kids back. But you know what? Screw that guy.
Whoa.
He took my blank check, but he also took that file, the file that I needed that shows that I legally defrauded this old man. So now I got to go try to get that file, but I ruined this guy's life when I hit him on the highway. And now we're in a series of road rage accidents for 2 hours. Yeah, that was really
this is bad.
That was my worst.
This is the movie Changing Lanes. I'm going to just stop him right there. That's right. We're doing the 2000 drama thriller Changing Lanes. I had never seen. The reason why I never saw it is one of the notes in here is the way that it was advertised. It made it seem like it was this like action thriller. And I had like zero interest in that. I was like, I don't really care for that. I just didn't want to see it.
I don't care for this.
I just was like, what is this? This guy's just fighting because he hit him in the car. I'm like, I don't want to watch this. So I think I never watched it. Partly because of that, but probably like back then we've talked about it. 5 movies come out at a weekend. You just don't, you miss it. You don't really go back to it. So, which is, I watched Forces by Nature, which is Ben Affleck. So I don't know why I didn't watch this. So, yeah. So anyway, so this is the first watch for me. So this will be interesting.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. Let's get into the facts and then our discussion. And then we will talk about what this is,
So it's a podcast.
It is. The podcast. I don't know why I always explain it. But anyway, Changing Lanes has a runtime of 98 minutes. It's rated R. Production budget of $45 million. It came out on April 12th, 2002. Which was a Friday. Its opening weekend, it did $17 million. Its domestic take was 67. Its international take was 28 for a worldwide total of $95 million. Production company was Paramount Pictures and Scott Rudin Productions, and it was distributed by Paramount as well. So I said it came out on the 12th. Let's go back to the 5th. The week of April 5th, you had High Crimes, Van Wilder, and Big Trouble. On the 12th, the week that this film came out, you went up against, in a wide release, The Sweetest Thing and Frailty.
A movie we did.
Exactly. You had a limited, exactly, Butler. Good job. A limited release of Human Nature, New Best Friend, and The Cat's Meow as well. And then the week after, the 19th of April, you had a wide release of The Scorpion King and Murder by Numbers, and a limited release of My Big Fat Greek Wedding, which I, for some reason, thought that was in 99. So, silly me. Huh. This film is directed by Robert Michel, who's done Persuasion, Notting Hill, and Morning Glory. You had a screenplay story credit for Chap Taylor, and then a screenplay credit for Michael Tolkien. So I believe this is Taylor did this first, and then Tolkien came in and rewrote it a little bit. You had Taylor, who's done Top of the World, the 2006 Omen and National Treasure, which were both uncredited rewrites. And then you had Michael Tolkien, who's done nominated for an Oscar for The Player.
A movie we did?
There you go. I know I didn't point, so I was waiting for you to.
I was like, which one's the player?
The one with Tim Robbins.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Deep cover, and he did the TV show The Offer, which was about the making of The Godfather. You also had a uncredited rewrite by Daniel Pine, who had done Sum of All Fears and then the 2000s Manchurian Candidate, the remake they did. So he did an uncredited rewrite of this film. Cinematographer was Salvatore Totino, who was on 65, Spider-Man: Homecoming, and Cinderella Man. Composer was David Arnold, who has done Casino Royale and Independence Day, edited by Christopher Tellefson, who was nominated for an Oscar for Moneyball. He's also done A Quiet Place and The Menu. Not a big cast. Not really a big cast. It's really focused
the main
on
players. Yeah.
You have Ben Affleck at Gavin Bannock, who is our lawyer who is works for the firm.
And if you're keeping track, this is our 78th Ben Affleck.
It's quite a lot. It's been a lot of films, and we've covered them all. So he's won an Oscar for Best Picture for Argo, which he directed and he starred in. He's also won an Oscar for Writer for Good Will Hunting, which he also starred in. And he's also in Gone Girl, which he has no Oscar nominations for.
Oh, but it's a really good movie.
It is a good movie. Samuel L. Jackson as Doyle Gibson or other fender bender person in the movie, or a co-lead.
Fender bender person.
Or co-lead. He's nominated for an Oscar for Pulp Fiction. He's also in Hateful Eight, and of course he's in the MCU series. All those films. He's got to be in like 15 films.
He's in those?
He is. He plays this guy called Nick Fury. Toni Collette as Michelle. She is as Butler. She is a former mistress. They're not together.
They're not like, oh, do you ever regret?
She is a lawyer that works in the firm that had an affair with Ben Affleck, and they don't. Gavin, and so then they're no longer together, but they're still friends. She is nominated for an Oscar for The Sixth Sense. She's also in About a Boy and Hereditary. Jesus, can I not say that right? Sidney Pollack as Stephen Delano. He is Gavin's father-in-law and boss and partner in the firm that he works. He was nominated for he won 2 Oscars, both for director and best picture for Out of Africa. He's also in Michael Clayton,
a movie we did.
There you go. Richard Jenkins as Walter Arnell, who was the other partner in the firm. He was nominated for Oscars for The Visitor and The Shape of Water. He's also in a movie called Burn After Reading.
A movie we did.
There you go. And then you had some Kim Staunton as Valerie Gibson, who is Doyle's estranged wife. She's in Heat. Amos and Andrew. She's a big time theater actress.
Yes, that's where I saw her.
Amanda Peet as Cynthia Bannock, who is Gavin's wife, but also obviously the daughter of Stephen Delano.
Not a good person.
No, we'll get into that. 2012 Identity.
A movie we did.
Igby Goes Down.
A movie we did.
There you go. Bruce Altman is the lawyer of he's in the opening scene. He plays the lawyer of the woman that was this whole deal with Gavin. Their firm is taking ownership of this a fellowship. It's like a nonprofit.
Nonprofit, yeah.
And they fired all the board of directors, but she is the daughter of the man that passed away that signed over this. So there's some discrepancy as whether he really wanted to do this. Bruce Altman is her lawyer. I like bring him up because he's a New Haven resident that we've seen frequently at the theater, seen movies. So we never bothered him because we respect that. So yeah.
Dude, take my headshot.
Somebody did that. Dylan Baker plays Finch. I call him Finch the Fixer, who's not really good at his job.
I can't do it. Oops.
Oh, sorry. This thing kind of out of mind of its own.
By fix, I mean break. By fix, I don't do that.
This is your job. Like you. Anyways, he's in Delirious.
Movie we did.
And then William Hurt's in there for, I don't know why William Hurt's in this film. Like, why is he in this movie? Did he do this as a favor? He
doesn't have a lot to do.
It's like a 1 day's of work, and he plays Doyle's sponsor.
Maybe he wanted to work with Sam Jackson or the director.
Maybe he's in Eastern Promises, which
movie we did.
There you go. So that's it. That's not a big cast. I had told Butler before last episode that I had not seen this film, so this is a first watch for me. I think I briefly talked about why I didn't see this film. I remember when you picked it, you told me
this is like one of the earliest films I'd ever put on the list.
But you picked it because you remember really liking it, but you wanted to revisit it.
I picked it because I remember liking it, but not loving it. But I hadn't seen it since, and I was like, is it good? And I just didn't get it when I watched it.
Sure.
Or is it not good, or is it missing something? It was in my brain. So I'm like, you never think about that movie, but it's different.
Sure. So hit me.
So that's why I put it on the list. I still like this movie, and I still have the same thought. There's something keeping this movie from being like great, and I enjoy this movie, but there's something keeping it from being like better than I think it is. I think there's a great movie within this pretty good movie, and I don't know if it's Ben Affleck's character. I don't know if it's the fact that we're only there for a day. I just something about it, and obviously these characters are very imperfect, but I kind of like that about the film. But they're also kind of wishy-washy. They go back and forth on being good and being bad. But
they're changing lanes.
Yeah,
Butler.
I think that's the theme of the movie. So I still like it, but I think there's something, and as we're talking, I'm sure we can figure that out.
Oh, I think I have
what it is.
I have some ideas.
Then tell me why you didn't like this movie.
Jesus Christ. I think there's some issues with the script in terms of what you're talking about. And this is the same thing that we've talked about in other films too before. This movie is trying to give you two main characters.
Yeah.
It needs to pick a lane basically. So I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to show how one incident has affected these people
In their
lives. The problem is that that's a longer movie. Like
that's like Traffic.
That's like exactly. Yeah. That's like a 3-hour movie because you do not give us enough.
It's only an hour 38.
Right.
So yeah.
Of either of these people's lives. Like Doyle Gibson's life, which is Sam Jackson, is pretty simple. And I don't mean that as a slight. I seem to always say, when I say simple, I don't mean that. It's just pretty straightforward. He's trying to get his wife back. She's estranged. She kind of explains to him like how you just get angry. He's an alcoholic. And they have that one moment in the bar and they do that. And that's really well done, that scene. But she has that conversation with him, how he gets manic about everything when he's in jail.
Yeah, it's like, not just about
life with you has always been like it's one up and one down, whether you're sober or drunk. And it's like, okay, well, if that I need more.
He looks for cats.
Right.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
So while that story is it kind of it doesn't get too much, I still need more. The Gavin stuff, the Ben Affleck character stuff. There is. The scene, and I'll give you the perfect example of what I'm talking about. They don't give you enough of Gavin's before the accident, like what his life is like before the accident. You kind of get the sense, oh, it's simple. Just go drop it off. And okay, yes, you can infer that, oh, it's not just so simple because, but
you're referring that because it's a movie, you have to
right.
Think that
and he has that speech where he's sitting there looking at the beach mural, and I'm like, is he making this speech up because he's looking at the mural of the beach?
Oh, at the end?
Yeah. And that whole speech about like, when you see this girl at the beach and like, that if you went over and talked to her, you'd leave with her. And that's I like that monologue.
It's a good monologue, but it needs something that connects it to the beginning.
And my point, and again, you meet his wife way too late in this film. Yes. You meet his wife, and the turn that Amanda Peet plays Cynthia, where she's just like, I know you cheated. I know my father cheated. I know you cheated. I forgave you because I love you. I love this marriage. You need to basically
the money.
She is there basically to do what her father has asked her to do. So basically, she has chosen the firm and her father over her own husband. The problem is I have not met this woman yet. So if I meet Cynthia in the first act, where I see her as a loving wife, and she is super supportive of Gavin, and she's, we see her in a role where like later on when she does do this turn, it's a little bit more like, oh man, that's so. You're really not a good person. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so there's really no reason for me to be shocked by her evil turn in this second to the beginning of third act, maybe towards the end of the second act, where I'm just like, but I just met you. So like,
true.
You know what I mean?
I think that's more like a damn.
No,
kind of
but I need that. But that would, my point is that I need to learn more about Gavin before this whole thing.
I agree. I think with, oh my God, what's Samuel L. Jackson's
Doyle.
Character? Doyle's character has backstory in his beginning, whereas Gavin's just given a speech to kids.
Yeah, I know.
It's not
Why does she hate me? Why doesn't she like me?
That's a bad intro because you're not given his story.
We're not given anything.
You're given Doyle's story, and Gavin's story you get after the accident, and he comes back from there.
And then the reverse happens after the incident. It's more about Gavin because now he's trying to solve this mystery about like which isn't really a big mystery. What's going on?
Right.
And with Gibson, it's just his life is falling apart. But with Gavin, he's trying to solve something. Yeah. So now who do I follow? Like if I'm more interested in, okay, Gavin's trying to solve something. He's trying to make something right. Okay, I'm more interested in that. Where Doyle's life is just falling apart, and I'm just like, well, that is not intriguing to me as Gavin's side. You know what I mean? Like, and the movie does that. The movie goes this is what we're talking about. What I'm talking about, our back and forth, is what the problem for me connecting to this film is that I don't know which way to focus. And then I just end up sitting there watching going, all right, okay. There are moments in the movie that I love. There are scenes that I like. I like that it's a drama. I like that it's not an action thriller.
Right.
You know, I guess I'm okay with the changing lane aspect where sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but it's so muddy that I can't really get behind it 100%.
I think if it was a little longer and they had more scenes where they're going at each other, not in an action kind of way,
right?
But like they don't. Oh, here's your document. Let me blackmail you, and then all of a sudden, it's done.
I feel.
Let me shut off the bank account. Let me bring it back. Right. Oh, it's not there. Oh, let me go drink then.
Yes, and I feel like this movie needs when they get to the point where they're coming at, they need to actually physically have an altercation at the end.
It needs to be more than just I took off your wheel.
Right.
His coming at which is good and messed up when he calls about the kids. That's a really messed up thing to do.
Yeah.
But I feel like he needs something in between that because I feel like that's a real extreme. There needed to be a midway point where it's like one more.
Yeah.
I feel like, and you had the time. It's a drama. It doesn't need to be that tight.
Right.
It could be a little longer.
But see, if this is like a straight if this is a drama, so for instance, the scene when he beats the two guys from the bar with the phone, that shouldn't be there because I should never see Doyle get physical with anybody else other than how him and Gavin push themselves to a point when they get physical with each other.
Oh, see, I disagree because I think that's probably the only example, which is why there needs to be more of when his wife's like, you're and William Hurt's character are like, you're into chaos. You know, so I love when William Hurt's like, you know, some people's thing is Coke, other people is bourbon, but yours is chaos. And his wife basically says the same thing. It wasn't just always the alcoholism that caused his issues. He was always just looking for trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like the one time where it's like, yeah, these guys are now harassing you. What did you think? Like, I love his monologue about the Tiger Woods commercial.
Sure.
That's one of the things I remember the most out of the film is that Tiger Woods commercial, because your fat fathers would never have given $5 for going smokes and a Coca-Cola or something, or whatever. And but I think that's the only example where he's causing his own trouble. And you're just like, why are you okay? Yeah, you are looking for trouble. You're just like, you're in a bad mood. You had the bourbon. You just so tried not to get the bourbon. So you want to just let me take it out on somebody, or let me get myself into some kind of situation so I forget the reality I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think there need to be more of that. I think if there was one more, you might have been a little bit more okay with that.
I just don't think there's too many things missing throughout the second act. There's too many things missing what we're just talking about. And before that, that's why I can't get into it, because I need like 15, 20 minutes more of just, if you're going to be a drama. And I think while I understand what you're saying in terms of the chaos, I just don't think he would see. I would say this with that scene. He shouldn't beat them up. They should beat him up.
No, yeah, he should have gotten the crap beat out of him. And I think he should have enjoyed it.
Right. I shouldn't, like, the violence that they, like, this all leading to a head, like, these guys are, see, I'm rewriting the film, so I apologize. But this film is about two guys in their regular life, and they're obviously have differing, different days that they're trying to deal with, but they're regular Joes, they're average Joes.
Right,
it should get to a point where they start doing stuff, and they do eventually do stuff that they normally wouldn't do. But I think it should come to a head where they physically have a physical altercation, and maybe that scene in the jail cell, they're both in the jail cell. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because of that. Like, that's all I'm saying. I just think that it's not. Gavin's story turns into a trying to solve something or change his life, which he doesn't change his life. You know what I mean?
He kind of takes control of his life.
He does, but I don't like that ending. Like, I'm living on the edge. You know, can you handle that? Like,
no, you're fired, or they're going to set, they're bad people. They'll set you up. I don't like my thing is like, the ending is like, I'm quitting. I want a divorce, and I'm going to go be with this other woman, and we're going to leave and go, like, I'm going to go be with Michelle. Firm.
Like that, like, that's the ending. That's Gavin, like, realizing that, that whole story, that whole speech that he has about going with the girl on the beach. And then you realize like that speech is a great speech, but he doesn't follow those instructions. He just kind of like, whatever.
I want to know Toni Collette's the girl on the beach.
I think it is. I think that's what we're supposed to. Yeah,
but I need to know that from the beginning.
Right.
I need to know a little bit more about that beach, and he needs to get to that beach.
They didn't get together because Michelle was like, "You're not available to me, and I can't wait for you."
Yes,
like yeah, exactly. Again, I don't want to write the movie because we'd say that we don't rewrite the film, but to me, a lot of these pieces that are missing would create a different film.
Yes,
than what we're seeing.
Like I said, I like the film. There's so much good stuff in it, but there's something keeping it from being great. Because I love the concept.
Yeah.
And I think it could really make it great. And I think the runtime, for once, we always talk about shorter runtimes are better. This is one time with the short runtime hurts it.
Yeah, no, concept's great. I just think the script doesn't match up. That's it.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest, like if that's the biggest takeaway for me is concept's a great concept, great idea. Script doesn't match that. That's it.
Yeah.
Whether it's through the rewrites, it just doesn't connect, whatever.
I don't even think it's the script. It's the story. It's just the plot.
That's the script.
Well, the script has some
execution.
The script has great moments and great lines and deliveries and monologues.
But I'm saying as a whole.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking. I understand what you're saying.
There just needs to be a few more things to plug in these holes.
See, I think there's more than a few, but yes, agree. We agree. I think there's more work than you maybe think there's more work. You know what I mean?
Of course you do.
I'm just saying, I think there's more work to do than you might think. I think you've maybe like 10% needs to be adjusted and added.
I think like more. I think a good 20% needs to be like,
then I'm
like
based on that. I think like 35, 40. Like that's what I'm saying.
That's a lot.
I'm just saying.
So again, so you did not like another Butler pick. I get it. I think Gavin also solves his mystery too quick. Because then it's like,
but it's not really a mystery.
Well, not a mystery, but he's like, okay, so they defrauded. Because like you just, I was the bad person. I think that should come at the end where he's like, now he admits, yeah, I defrauded this guy. Then you're a bad person, right? Then you're not having a bad day.
Yeah, we never go back to that. We never go back to him making that right.
He doesn't. Yeah,
he just basically is like, you stole $3 million. Yeah. Okay. So the solution we talk about this all the time when the credits roll, like what happens after, like you said, they're going to set him up, or they could just be like, well, how about we give you your own $1.5 million? We'll take care of it. We're the steward. Like, there you go. There's your $1.5 million.
Sure.
So, that's what's they're going to pie him off.
They don't have a scene where like they make a big deal out of, we used to be such great friends, him and the daughter of the man he defrauded, apparently.
Yes. Yeah.
But you don't come back to that. She has dialogue. She has lines where she's talking. There needs to be, like, sure, the dinner scene's great, but like you said, we only meet Amanda Peet at the end.
Yes.
I don't care about Amanda Peet. She sucks. She's a terrible character. She's a bad person. But the other lady is who you need to make right with. She was your friend. You did a bad thing.
Yeah.
You're literally hurt that she doesn't like you anymore. You don't understand why. That's who you need to redeem yourself in front of somehow, whether it's going to jail, which I didn't remember he does that. I don't remember that line.
What's that?
I'm on the edge. I thought he did go to jail. I thought I remember him turning in the paper.
Oh, you're talking about from your first watch.
Yes. Right. Which I think would be a more powerful ending.
Mm-hmm.
Go to jail. You're not a lawyer anymore. Go figure out something after you get out of jail, but you're going to jail.
Well, I mean, he would have to, it's almost that he would have to get a lawyer and they would have to prove that he didn't know what was happening. And
they're never going to do that because he even says he kind of knew.
Yeah. I'm okay with the ending of, I know what you did. I'm not gonna say anything. I know what you did. You stole money.
But we're gonna do good.
But I'm leaving the firm, and you'll leave me alone.
Yes.
Like that kind of thing. Like my problem with the ending is that he never goes to get his ending that he completely sat there and described to Doyle when he's about the beach. He never does that.
He admits defeat. He just so I'm stuck here.
Right. So like exactly. So he's gonna just grow up to be a bitter old man and never happy and cheat on his wife. Probably.
To be fair,
more.
Doyle does the same thing, but Doyle gets a little bit of a happy. Well, we don't know what happens. But Doyle gets the hint of a happy ending.
That's the other thing too. Like, I don't really I get they're just staring at him from across the street, and I'm like, and the kids aren't smiling.
I think all that's happening is he gets his goodbye.
Maybe
I think that's as good as it's gonna get.
I think you're inferring that because I think the writers are saying like, oh, she's gonna come back to him. Like,
I think they want the audience to think that. Yeah.
And also, what's wrong with moving to Oregon? I mean, who cares? Oregon's a nice place. Nice and it's city.
Yeah, it's like
rains
all the time.
When he's like, I got a house in Queens. I go, that don't look like a great place.
It could be a great place. That's the point. Fun fact: that place in Queens today, to sell it, he'd be $1 million probably.
Which brings me to my next point: the look of the movie. So it's very dreary.
It's a washed out early 2000s,
very documentary style. Yes. Well, we've talked about movies in the early 2000s that are very stylized and like that kind of stylistic. This movie does not have that. It's very documentary. It felt very much like Michael Clayton. that look.
Yeah.
There are a couple shots where there is massive. There's like Ben Affleck is like its head's here, and the entire like he has a massive headroom up top.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a couple shots like that.
When he walks through the office to the when the sprinklers are going off, it's a huge.
So I'm curious, what did you think of the look of the movie?
I genuinely like the look of the film. I think it makes it cements it as a drama. It doesn't make it look like an action film. I think because it's like that documentary film style, it's like, here's a day in the life of these two guys. And there are some shots that are very like voyeuristic too. There's a shot where he's on the fountain, and not just when he's trying to look for Doyle talking on the phone, where they're just like really far away, looking from like the angle of the fire truck, like, hey, look at these two people right here. So I do kind of like the look of the film. It gives it this kind of like dreary New York rainy day kind of look. I enjoyed that, and a lot of the location looks like New York. Which we always say we appreciate. I don't know if New York is such a character in this film, but it just makes it look like, okay, they're in New York. They're
rainy, dreary New York, like Kiss of Death, New York.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to New York when it looks like that sometimes.
No, I get it.
A really crappy day.
The fact that they shut down the FDR to shoot that scene was the New Yorkers must have hated that.
They're like, what is this? Not LA. I got to get to work.
Exactly. They must have hated that.
There were probably a couple people that just drove through. Screw this. What did you think of the look?
I mean, I think it matches the tone, especially because like in the beginning, they're both going off to court, which isn't exciting, which, you know, it's not a happy place. Usually it's just kind of like a thing you have to do.
Right.
Especially for Doyle, because he's going to divorce court, which the judge is like,
he's so mean.
But I mean, I do get it, because I'm sure that's exactly what it looks like. You hear the excuses all the time, you know, like I get it. I mean, we both are managers, so we've heard the, you know, in terms of employees.
Well, it wasn't divorce court. It was like probate court or something. Cause he's like, you're lucky this isn't divorce court.
Oh,
or something like that.
Okay.
Cause they'd already been divorced.
But they were determining the child, the visitation rights.
Yeah, but it wasn't divorce.
Okay.
It was something else. Cause he goes, you're lucky this isn't divorce court.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But still, so the look in terms of like that dreariness, that bureaucratic feel, I get it. Even like Gavin, like, you know, there's always like with Law and Order, the courtrooms always look better than they are. Like the courtroom that Gavin is in is probably more legit, like what it's like for a lot of the stuff.
Yeah, and the Doyle's in the really crappy looking one.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's like the night court one.
It matches. I think the dreariness matches. I appreciate it, a little documentary style.
Did you notice the color difference between the two characters?
No.
So all the Gavin stuff is blue. I mean, there's a blue tone to everything, but Gavin's very blue in a lot of the stuff, everything he wears, stuff that he's in and around. And Doyle's stuff is brown.
Oh, okay.
He's got brown coat. He's got his purple hat because that's Samuel L. Jackson's thing.
Gotcha.
But brown bourbon, brown bar, brown coat. A lot of his stuff has like a brown tone.
That's interesting. All right.
Yeah. Just to differentiate the characters, but keep it kind of bleak looking.
I get that. Let me give you some reactions, some
reviews,
some Eberts. These are so this again is not much of a review, but it's Ebert just kind of, I guess, expounding,
opining about the movie.
It is about adults who have minds as well as emotions and can express themselves with uncommon clarity. And it's not just about the quarrel between these two men, but about the ways they have been living their lives.
Yeah.
See, that last sentence is where I feel like film doesn't do enough of a good job presenting that, especially Gavin, which we've talked about already.
Right. They don't really go into how Gavin has been. Like, you get the fact that when he started, he was idealistic and he was dealing with nonprofits. But yeah, they don't really go into his past. You get the Doyle, you know, you're not about the alcohol, you're about the crazy. But yeah, I agree with that.
Like
they're trying. But they don't get there.
I've watched movies, and I don't know if we've done movies. This young. You're married to the boss's daughter, and you're a lawyer, but you're doing like you're sacrificing what you truly love or what you truly believe in.
The devil's advocate.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? But like so that story is, we've seen it before, but we've seen it presented better. I just wish there was more there that's all. I just want
because when you get those, that's like one of your issues. That's the main character.
Yeah. Yes.
And so there's not two of those characters.
Can you do this movie with one main character?
No, I think it needs the two, because the whole thing is crossing paths, is that these two people with very different lives cross paths, and what they do within that day and how they interact with each other changes their life.
Do you think it would? What about this? And again, we're rewriting, whatever. What about this? What about a movie where these two people hit, right, and then they go off, but they never their lives are
Never intersect again.
Yes, like it just how this accident affects them in their own life, and we don't ever. Maybe they come back together for one time at the end.
I feel like that's Traffic.
Okay, that's fine, but you don't think that's
no
more of an interesting take?
No, because I need them to intersect if I'm going between two people. I need something where they come together.
Do you think Ben Affleck is too young for this role?
Yeah,
you think so?
I mean, I don't think he's too. I don't think he's too young, but I think I would prefer someone a little older because he's
maybe somebody who is maybe in his late 30s, has 2 kids, same situation, wife is you know what I mean?
He's just about to become partner because he's married into it.
Yes.
So he hasn't really earned his way into the lawyer. He hasn't gotten like what his speech about, we'll see what you're like in 5 years, 3 years, 2 months, 1 week. It's like, it's a great speech, but he's a little too young to be, I feel like, to be giving that speech.
So not so much that Ben Affleck's too young for the role, but the character should be older.
The character should be a little older.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe not by much, but a little bit.
No, I agree with that. I think that would really, because then that would really kind of add a little bit, an extra layer to his desperation, because he's somebody who's, yes, I guess he's in his 20s, he's 29, but has he really made his mark yet in the world?
It's like, yeah, you might be 29, but then you went to 4 years of law school.
Yes.
After 4 years of college,
you're still paying.
Yeah.
Let's assume you're still paying off student debt.
Yeah, you're probably 3 or 4 years in the business.
You haven't really had a big case maybe where you're known for closing big deals. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yes, exactly.
And if he's in his like early, at least even like a little earlier 30s, and he has kids that are like 5 or 6, like the Doyle's age, that scene where he screws over the kids would hit harder, because he'd be like, I mean, yes, it hits because you're like, oh, you're a douche.
I don't like in that scene. I don't like in that scene that he's sitting at the phone booth yelling at him. Like, he can't hear you, number one. Number two, why are you doing that?
Yeah, I got it. Well, I mean, he did just get hit. I don't like that when he gets out of the car, his nose is broken.
Okay.
And then 2 scenes later, he doesn't have blood on it. It's just like, nose completely better. Gotcha. Like, you cut your nose, dude. It's broken. Come on. At least put the little red scab on it. Come on. I do like how messed up and dazed he is after the accident. He's just like, oh.
Yeah. I mean, that scene had a little bit of that 2000 style with the amped up motion.
The amped up cut. Yeah. I also like that Doyle immediately after he does it is not happy with himself.
Right.
It's not like, gotcha. Like, Doyle doesn't have that moment. Doyle has the, oh man, what did I do?
Yeah. So Peter Travers from Variety, despite slick production values and director Roger Michel's TikTok pacing, the final effect is like having 2 guys yelling in your face for 2 hours, but in its own shallow, straight to video way. Changing Lanes is onto something. Yeah.
I don't agree with that review at all. I don't.
You hear that, Peter?
No, I don't. I mean, he clearly has issues, but like it's the same that I think we both had. There are good things and bad things.
Yeah.
But I just think he's off on what those are.
Do you like the whole Finch, the fixer, as I'm calling him? Like
no, because he sucks.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah.
What's the point of breaking something to have somebody give you what you want if you can't return it?
Yes.
It gives you have to have that ability. You kidnap somebody. You don't kill them right. You don't kill the kidnapped victim right away. You have to give them the hope that they could be back.
He freezes his credit and he makes him look bankrupt, but then he can't fix that, which is
but because he does bankrupt him. I guess.
I don't understand that.
So that's why Ben Affleck basically Kevin has to fund Doyle again and pay for his house, which is great that you got your house. Doyle's never getting a car because clearly Doyle's got crap credit or no credit anymore because you deleted all his credit.
Well, let's also be honest. I'm asking for a refund from Finch. I want half of that $5,000 back that I gave him because he didn't do the job.
When he's going to the apartment and it's actually Doyle's ex-wife's, I thought it was going to be the fixer's apartment. He's going to open the door and there's no one there. Like he always moves crappy apartment. Maybe. Yeah. No, absolutely. I mean, he's not going to give you your money back because he'll just ruin you.
But he didn't do the job that he was hired to do.
Oh yeah. Oh, fixing it, not so easy.
How does Michelle know this dude too?
Yeah, she's supposed to be a good person, but then she's like, I got some guy. Yeah. Which is like, so no one's good there. But yeah, I don't like his character because he can't fix it.
Yeah.
Because he's like, that's inept, and I think that's bad. You don't fix anything then, because Doyle still has all the power. So he's like, oh yeah, you put my thing back on, I'll give you who else isn't doing that in all these cases? Is he the first guy to go like, yeah, if you put it back? He's the first guy to have the stones to do that. Come on. Come on.
So who would you recommend this to?
I think a lot of people. I think it's an interesting movie, an interesting concept. I think the acting is good. I think that the story they're trying to tell, while I don't think it hits all the way, is interesting and different. And I don't think it's like you said, you expect it to be a thriller action movie, but it is a drama.
I do like this drama, yeah.
And I think there are some great lines between
Yes.
the two of them. They both have some great lines deliveries.
Problem is that because it's a drama, more of a drama, it's tough to recommend dramas to a lot of people because a lot of people don't want dramas.
Yeah. But it does have a little action, a little bit thriller element to it, and it's only an hour 38.
Sure.
Whereas when you tell dramas, it's like, oh, so it's 2:30, 2:25.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. And I'm sitting here asking for more. So yeah.
I think a lot of people, but I think you have to be a mature adult to like. It's got to be like somebody who, or at least somebody who can watch those kind of movies. I think I'm not recommending to like my brother who only likes action superhero movies or comedies. It's like this isn't for you, but. For a lot of other people, like check it out. Or if you just saw it once, go back and look at it because I don't think people make movies like this nowadays.
Well, I was just gonna say that this is a movie that would be a 6-episode, 8-episode series that would suck because it would drag out everything. Yeah, and I'd learn all about everything. Angle.
You'd have that one flashback episode where it's like we want that one scene that shows us. Yes, but we don't want an entire episode.
Yeah, like when we'd have the actual
beach day.
Yes, he'd be talking about it, and then we'd see it, and he'd be there, and he'd look over, and there'd be this faceless woman, and he'd be like, he'd hold out his hand like he's gonna go.
Episode end credits.
And then his wife would be like, "Can you put some suntan lotion on me?" And he'd be like, "Oh." And he'd be rubbing with suntan lotion. It'd be like, and like it'd be a tear down his eye, and the credit it would be like directed by Roger Michel, and we'd be like. This is my hot take. There are not. We talk about it all the time, like, oh, that's bad writing. Oh, that's great writing. The real evil is mediocre writing. There's too much mediocre out there and we get desensitized to it, and we sit there and we're just like, meh, and it's like it has no effect on us, and it just drags us down. It just makes us not. Like anything, like there could be it's really hard sometimes in like this type of movie, not for us, but for some people, like if it's just an movie, to find the great stuff in the movie, which we kind of just highlighted and stuff like that. But there's so much mediocre stuff out there that it's getting increasingly difficult to find those moments.
Well, nowadays you wouldn't even have like at least the acting and some of the dialogue is really strong. You probably wouldn't have that nowadays in a mediocre one because it would just be like you'd have rushed it out the door.
And again, this would be a streamer. This would just be like we need to make. I mean, say what you want. I don't really believe it's this overblown. This truth, but I do think there is some kernel of truth in terms of making movies that people can watch in the background, not getting too in depth, like that kind of thing. I think that's really true. I think a movie like this, like Changing Lanes, if someone's like, "Oh, they're making Changing Lanes," it'd be absolutely Peacock or Netflix, and you would see it, and it would just be like, nah.
They would add the line, "Our lives are just changing lanes."
Oh, they would absolutely put Changing Lanes in there.
Yeah.
That would absolutely be a line, like at the last episode or something like that. And like what would be worse at like this movie, the show, would probably do well where they'd get a sequel. And we're like, why? Like we get
sequel season. Oh, well, we don't have any ideas.
Two new people.
Cast is coming back.
Two new Changing Lane issues.
Every season's going to be 2 new Changing Lanes.
Ugh, gross. Anyways, then why is it forgotten?
I think that what we're saying, it's like good, not great. There's just something holding it back. I think Sam Jackson's 8 billion films. We've already covered 12 million Ben Affleck films from both this era, young Ben Affleck, and like older grizzled Ben Affleck. I just think there are other films you watch from these guys. And I think that, like you said, the trailer makes it seem like an action movie, which is why you didn't watch it when it first came out.
Yeah. I just didn't have any interest in that concept.
Other people might go in it hoping it would be, seeing it was a drama and being like, meh. And like I said, I remember it because that was a time when I was kind of really getting into films. But I think there's a lot of people who would be watching it and kind of going with the same thing, good, not great. And like you said, not finding the good stuff in it, only seeing like, not seeing it for what it could be, but seeing for what it is. And I think that hurts it.
Would this movie qualify for like what we talk about, where it's a movie that could be remade and could like Striking Distance, like it's missed out on, like that maybe has a good remake possibility?
There's a Bollywood remake. The plot is actually I'm actually kind of intrigued by that plot.
I know I saw the title, but I didn't read it.
I was like, ooh, let me see what happens. I guess he's trying to get into a safe deposit box because the Gavin character was taken off of his own father's inheritance and it went to his father's friend. So he's trying to figure out like, should get the key to the safe deposit box and get in himself to get the money. But then he like realizes things about himself as he ruins this taxi cab driver's life, who's been a cranky like his whole life, I guess. Yeah. And he's been causing issues with customers. And his wife's like, do you want to get fired? He's almost like, what's his face? And the Bill Murray at the beginning of Stripes.
Oh, okay.
Like just a complete ass because he hates his career.
Gotcha.
And he's just always been like this, like full of anger.
Mm.
And the two of them like come to a head and end up having to help each other.
All right. Well,
So they got that moment like where we don't say where they have to like, be together. So I was like, that's intriguing. How much music is in it?
Awesome. Where can they find us?
You can find us at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts. You're watching, listening to us right now. Rate, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff helps our podcast grow. Even if you don't like our hot takes, we're sorry about 12 Monkeys, guys. If you like us even further, we have our Now Showing episodes. We're covering Ben Affleck's The Rip, or actually by the time you're watching this, we probably already did. On our Now Showing episodes where we cover new movies. We do our lead up series where we're covering Screams, or we already did. I think this comes out in March, so we probably already did. Check those out. And check out our merch store. Check out our Patreon where we have more exclusive episodes and more goodies for you on there. And that's what I got.
Awesome. And then join us next week as we're going to 1991 for the comedy romance film Soap Dish.
I'm very excited for this one.
Yes, I've seen it.
You've talked it up
It's
too much.
hilarious. Oh boy,
It better be.
He's gonna hate. He's gonna hate it. I picked it.
I know. I don't hate as much.
He
as
hates
you.
the fact that he likes the ones I pick. That's what
I do want to hate one that you pick.
Well, good luck. All right, so that's next week's Soap Dish. Until then, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I'm Mike Field.
I'm Mike Butler.
And this has been Forgotten Cinema. Keep changing those lanes. Put your blinkers on. Use a blinker for guts. Actually, he did use the blinker.
He did. He was kind of aggressive about it, but it's all Sam Jackson was writing in the notepad. It's technically his accent.
It was 2000s texting and driving.
Yes.